In the previous video, I mentioned that Google has established 3 simple rules that govern its day-to-day business practice and help to nurture and scale a culture of innovation. They are: focus on the user or the customer, think 10x or generate big ideas, and finally, launch and iterate, which is often referred to as continuous learning. These principles weren't created by Google. Every company focuses on their customers. Every company expects its employees to be bold and to generate big ideas. Where Google differs, however, is in the way it implements these principles to scale the innovation mindset. We'll look at each one by one. Let's start with focus on the user. Focus on the user as a business practice may sound common. How often have you heard customer first? But for us at Google, this focus has 2 dimensions. First, users aren't limited to paying customers or people outside our business. Our employees are also our users. Next is user expectation. You need to clearly understand user expectation to think about how you can add value for them. This is because with the digital age, everyone has become connected globally via multiple devices. Everyone has acquired the same expectations when engaging with companies. Here's an example of what I mean by focusing on your customers and their expectations. When airlines first started offering Wi-Fi on board their planes, it seemed new and revolutionary, and it differentiated an airline company's offering. Now it's expected. Notice that as soon as your customers become exposed to something new that makes their lives easier, it doesn't take long for it to become an expectation. User expectation, though, can mean a variety of things. To help you narrow down the scope of users' expectations, consider the following focus areas: access, engagement, customization, and communication. For each focus area, ask yourself, what does the user or customer expect? By answering the question, you'll make important discoveries about where to invest your efforts. Let me give you a few examples. When it comes to access, users expect faster and easier services with always-on capabilities that can be accessed anywhere. In terms of engagement, users are looking for sources of valued content. They expect up-to-date, reliable content from multiple fields of expertise. From this, you can then learn that engaging multiple fields of expertise in the process of product development is also crucial for your business success. Next, when it comes to customization, users expect that a product or service seamlessly adapts to their individual needs and preferences. Finally, users expect to be able to communicate with service providers through a 2-way feedback channel. This means that the company also engages in conversation. The same is true for your employees. When assessing what they expect when it comes to communication, you'll discover that they expect their contributions to matter and that their input has a positive impact on the evolution of a product or the company. To meet their expectations, 2-way dialogue is needed between teams and between employees and their leadership. So take a moment to think, who is your user? With innovation in mind, is there room to drastically improve or reinvent your products or services by examining your users' expectations? Now, at first, this level of focus on the user might seem like a bad business decision. What about ensuring that the business is making a profit? Believe it or not, there is a different way to look at the problem. I'll give you an example. One of Google's primary business models is built around ad sales. In the past, when users went to Google's site to search for information, they would see company-bought ad space on either side of the search window. By applying the first rule, focus on the user, Google decided to update its user interface design. This involved removing the ads and showing more information for some search results in order to provide a better user experience. At the time, 87% of Google's revenue came from ad space sales. So this might have seemed like an irresponsible decision. But Google focused on the user and made the changes anyway, because its mission isn't to sell ad space, but to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Coupled with the capabilities of the cloud, Google actually discovered that an improvement in the user experience didn't negatively affect its revenues. In fact, users have more insight now than they ever did before when they type in just a few letters. Let me give you an example. Last Sunday, I was deciding between pasta and sushi for dinner. I can make pasta, but not sushi, and I was really craving sushi. At 8:40 p.m., I used Google search and typed in Fuki, the name of a local sushi restaurant. I didn't type the word sushi because geolocation knows I live in Palo Alto, and so the search retrieves Fuki Sushi in Palo Alto. Immediately, I have a tremendous amount of information. Photos of the restaurant and the restaurant's hours. I see its location on maps, which shows how long it will take to get there. I see in orange font that the restaurant closes soon. A bar chart generated via Google Maps aggregated user data indicates how busy the restaurant is and tells me that the average wait time is 30 minutes. At the time of my search, it was 8:40 p.m. and the restaurant closed at 9. So I knew I wasn't going to get sushi. This is amazing. I type in 4 letters into the Google search bar, and within moments, I know I'm cooking pasta. Users find this functionality useful, so they keep coming back. So eliminating ads for some searches and using sponsored links instead turned out to be very profitable for Google. And focusing on the user can help any organization leverage new technologies as they undergo a digital transformation. Focus on the user is good practice to help you remember what ultimately matters most. Achieving your mission, why you exist, not how you operate. Let's move on to the next rule. Think 10x.